Alright, what's up guys? Another YouTube video for you guys. In this video, we're pretty much going to talk about why your assignment fee is weak, right? Why are those 10K checks weak as fuck? Why are those 5, 10, 15, whatever you so want to call those checks, are actually costing you money, right? Because you could be making $20, $30, $40,000 checks on deals that you're making 5 or 10. Not every scenario, right? Because they don't really apply to it. But if you actually break down the deal and look at it and understand, okay, this specific deal will allow me to make much more if I do understand how to do a novation deal, or I know another exit strategy like a subject to or a novation. But for this video, I want to talk about novations and how can it unlock, profit for you guys that was not there, or you weren't even able to pick it up, right? And if you were, you made 5K because the numbers were just super, super tight, or maybe you weren't even able to sell it. So that's exactly what I want to tell you guys and teach you guys in this video, so that at least you can understand, right? So you're finding the lead, managing the sellers, locking up contracts, doing all the heavy lifting, only to hand your deals over to a cash buyer who makes more than you. If you're still settling for 10K spreads, you're not building a business, right? You're building leads that could be worth 2 or 3 times more, and it's not your fault, it's the model, it's broken, right? And that's what we all understand, right? We understand that taking a lead that the retail value, for example, let's say it's worth, for example, let's just go to this table here. It's worth $3.95, right? With a contract price on an assignment deal stated that there's no work to be done to the property, meaning that a cash buyer is going to have to come into the property, right? Pay closing costs, maybe fix some minor things like, paint to make it fresh, to be able to sell it on the market. The cash buyer still has to make money. He also has to close a second time, right? He pays double closing costs. So when he closes with you, and then when he closes with the other buyer, plus his real estate fee. So that's 2% plus 1% plus 1%. So now we're talking about almost 4 to 5, 6% sometimes, depending if he's using hard money or not, right? So there's a whole bunch of other costs that, let's say you pick up the deal for 300, right? And it's worth 395. There's not so much room of where you can sell the deal. Like, for example, we sold it on a novation deal for 340. There's no way in hell you're going to be able to sell it 340. And the reason why is just because the spread is too thin. How is a cash buyer going to make money when he's buying it at 340 and then trying to sell it at 390? It just doesn't make sense, right, for a buyer to buy that, because he will be losing money on the deal. So what happens? You lock it up, right? And then you can't sell it. Or if you do, you sell it for 2, 3, 4, 5K, right? On the worst case scenario, you don't sell it. The best case scenario, you might 5K. But if you do use the novation strategy, which I've been telling you guys, you can lock this up at 340 and sell it for full retail value for 395, and you would profit 35, right? So that's the difference, and that's the mindset I want you guys to have and to truly understand. Instead of making 5K on a deal, right, and you just pick it up because that's second nature to you, like, okay, I got the deal. Let me try to sell it, and you figure out you can't sell it. Why aren't my deals selling? Well, that's the reason why. Because you're picking up deals that don't need a lot of work, right? And then you can't sell them because the cash buyer is not going to make a profit. The numbers just don't make sense for him, right? So with a retail buyer, the numbers are going to make sense, because remember guys, it's a emotional sale. For somebody that's going to move into a property, they want the house to be nice, right? These are the perfect case scenarios for it, because when a actual conventional buyer is going to buy it, right, a retail buyer, he's buying it based off of emotion. His wife likes the property, right? His, whatever the case may be, his kids like the pool, they like the neighborhood, they want to be in that specific zip code. So it's much better sale than actually selling it to a regular institutional cash buyer or mom and pop. Right? So what if the exit strategy was the problem? The issue isn't your leads, your follow-up, your motivation, it's your exit strategy. What I've been saying to you guys all along, right? The wrong exit kills good deals. The right exit, like tapping into the MLS and opening up the door to retail buyers, can unlock 2 to 3 times more profit with the same sellers, same house, same market you're already doing. So essentially, instead of, you know, throwing away leads where, you know, the retail value, let's say for example, is 400,000, and you can't go below that price because either they have too high of an equity, they have too much of an equity, right? Meaning that they can't go below a certain number. If not, they'll have to bring money to the closing table. The property doesn't need a lot of repairs, right? And there's no, you know, foundation on where you can say, okay, I need to be below this because of the roof, because of the plumbing, because it needs, you know, a full repaint, needs tiles, needs to fix the kitchen, needs to fix the bathroom. There's nowhere to go. What do? You just throw the lead in the trash? No, you can do a novation exit strategy, right? Where it allows you to pay them much more than a cash deal would allow you to pay them, right? And you're still making much more than you would if you were even possible, right, to get that deal under contract on a wholesale deal. So again, the key takeaways: you're not the problem, your buyers are. So if you guys are struggling on picking up deals and are stuck with making 5, 10, 15K on a deal and are looking to make bigger spreads like 30, 40, 50, 70K, 100K on one single deal on a consistent basis, this is the exit strategy you need to implement in your business right now. I'm telling you guys, do it sooner than later because you won't regret it, right? So you don't need better leads, you just need a better way to exit. Novation flips deeds into bigger profits. This model doesn't replace wholesaling, it just basically upgrades it, right? So that's pretty much it for this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.